Hi guys, hi, welcome back to K on Life. Welcome back to my channel. I am excited. Hi, how have you been? I hope that you're good, you're healthy, you're living your best life, you're enjoying your life, you're enjoying being alive altogether, and I hope that you're thankful for the gift of life. Well, let's get into the talk. Okay, let's get into the talk. Wait, before we get into the talk, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please consider to subscribe. Consider to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I upload a new video on the streets, so that you don't get to miss out all the nice things that are going to be coming your way. Okay, all right. So let's get into the talk. Usually I get my topics or the things that I want to talk about, they just pop up in my head. Sometimes I love to talk to myself. If you love to talk to yourself, if you talk to yourself, put your hands up. I talk to myself, I think to myself, I tell myself jokes and I laugh about them. I told somebody that I tell myself jokes and I laugh about them. They were like, who does that? I do that. Basically, I just love to hang out with myself, and usually I'm having a meeting with my mind, and some of these things, well, I see them, or I talk about them with my friends, and then sometimes I just think about them. So I have been thinking about the concept of independence. I know, right? You're like, who thinks about independence? I do. I've been thinking about the concept of independence, and I was like, you know what? Let me come and talk to you guys about it, and I see what you guys think about it. I don't know if there is somebody that thinks that thinks the same way as I do. So I decided to call this video "The Myth of Independence." I love the fact that this word exists. I love that it's there. It's a powerful word. It's a word that gives us, and it makes you feel, a certain way about yourself. Yeah, independence. I am an independent person. I'm an independent woman. I'm an independent woman. Yeah, you know that song by Destiny's Child. Anywho, independence. When I think about independence, in my opinion, I think about being self-reliant, being self-sufficient, being able to do everything by yourself and not depending on nobody for anything. Yeah. So for me, that's what I think. When I think about independence, that's what I think. But how practical is independence? How practical is it? Honestly, when you think about it, are you really truly independent? Is there any such thing as true independence? That you are self-reliant, that you're self-sufficient, that you depend on yourself in every area of your life. Is it? I don't know. I don't think it is. I think I depend on other people, and I'm okay with depending on other people. You hear, especially for us ladies, women empowerment, and I love the fact you people. I am all for women. I am all for women getting there and doing whatever they do. Yeah. So definitely I am all for women, but usually the reason why when you hear women talk about I'm an independent woman, it is usually just financial independence. Okay, because for a long time ago, women never used to work. There was, they couldn't hold money, they couldn't do investments, so they didn't have money. So for them, they felt like they depended, the dependency that they felt like they were doing at that point is financial dependence. And now that they no longer do that, well, some still do, we all do anyway. Some still do, but but now we're able to go out there, make the money, enjoy our money, and have our own money, pay our bills, pay our rents, do all these kinds of things. But that does not mean that we are actually independent in totality. There is nothing like that, in my opinion. Oh guys, by the way, everything I say here is my personal opinion. The things that I think about me as an individual, and so it's nothing to do with professional kind of sentiments. No, this is totally a personal opinion, okay? And so this is a reason why I have a problem with this whole concept of independence, because I feel like the concept of independence puts us in a place of feeling weak, of feeling helpless, and a lot of people fear that place, okay? A lot of people fear being helpless. I'm one of them. Everybody does. A lot of people fear being helpless. A lot of people fear being vulnerable. A lot of people want to be able to have power in their hands to do whatever they want to do and be able to do it. So when I feel like the concept of independence puts us on so much pressure of wanting to rely on ourselves for everything, and to be honest, that cannot happen. You will depend on somebody. Even the financial independence that we sing about, especially as women, it depends on something. It depends on the fact that you have an income. Yeah, your income depends on the fact that you have a job or you own a business, and that business depends on the fact that you actually have customers, you have consumers for your products or your services. And so everything, when you think about life, in other words, everything depends on something. Everything depends on everything. Even your job, it depends on your employer. Your employer can be like, get the hell out of my premises, and the next day you'll be at home, you won't have a job, and so you will not have an income, and so you will not be financially independent. And for some reason now at that point you will need to depend on somebody financially. You know what I mean? So I think that at every stage of our lives as human beings, we have been able to depend on somebody for something. Now it might not necessarily be money, it might not necessarily be financial, but I feel like at every stage of our lives, in our lives, we shall depend on somebody or on something for something, okay? And there is no shame in that. This myth of being independent, this myth of independence has eaten us up, that we feel so bad when we ask for help. We feel like we don't have to ask for help because, well, you're supposed to be independent. We are living in an era where we're supposed to be independent. You know what I mean? We're living in an era where we're supposed to be independent. We're supposed to be self-reliant. No, you don't have to be, because that's not how you're created to be. That is not what God intended for us to be. God did not intend for us to be independent. Otherwise, I don't know, I mean, he wouldn't have created so many of us. Yeah, we are interdependent. We depend on each other, you know, and it is okay for you to depend. It's even like, for example, even when we're looking for partners, for example, you're like, I want somebody that I can depend on. Hear that? Yeah, personally, I want somebody I can depend on. I can depend on emotionally, I can depend on psychologically, somebody I know that will have my back, somebody I know that will have my back, you know what I mean? And even when we're looking for friendships, we want people that we can trust, that we can be able to depend on. And that just makes the whole concept of independence, according to me, of course, from I'm not talking about all the kinds of independence and all that kind of stuff. Actually, when you think about it, somebody will be like, how do you understand independence? Or being able to think by myself, being able to, you know, make my own decisions. And you're like, okay. Even the things we think about, even the things like the way we look at life, the way we approach life, all of it, our mind itself depends on something. And guess what that is? Usually our mind depends, our behaviors depend on something. So literally everything about the human person, the human being, everything about us as human beings is dependent on something. And that just makes the word independence absolutely unrealistic, impractical, and a complete myth. Unrealistic, impractical, and a complete myth. Yeah, my opinion. That's my opinion. Because I feel like we depend on something. It's okay. You need to understand that it's okay for you to depend on somebody. at some point in your life. It is very okay. It doesn't make you lazy. It doesn't make you less of a human. It doesn't make you an emotionally detached person. It doesn't make you a mad person. It doesn't mean that you are psychologically impaired. It doesn't mean that you are. It's okay to depend on people. It's okay to depend on each other for whatever it is that you feel you need help in. Okay, so that's why for me I feel like this whole thing of independence, it is just putting too much pressure on us for nothing, because even then we'll still depend on somebody. Tell me what you think in the comment section, please. Do you think independence is practical? Is it something that actually makes sense to you? It's a good word. I like that it's a powerful word, and it exists, and it has pushed us to do certain things, certain good, amazing things for ourselves and our communities. But how practical is it? Tell me what you think in the comment section. Oh, what's happening? Tell me what you think in the comment section, please. And don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell to get notified every time a new video is uploaded here. I love you, and I'll see you next time.